Oh dear SSO. My journey with SSO started back in 2017. I remember being super excited about this new game and couldn't wait to discover new things. I joined clubs, found incredible friends, and I even had my own clubs. Of course, there was also a lot of drama, as usually tends to happen with 12 to 13-year-olds. In 2018, I spent hours in SSO on a daily basis. I talked with my SSO friends every day, and I grew really close with them. This continued for years until halfway through 2020. Then my own club Summer Flowers Army became really inactive. The last official event we had was probably our second birthday party in July of 2020. After that, we were inactive for almost 2 years, only hosting birthday celebrations on our third and fourth birthday. After that, our club ended up disbanding. In 2022, I suddenly rediscovered SSO again after not playing for almost 2 years. I wanted to find a community again. It was impossible to restore the old club again. It felt way too difficult to get in contact with the people and get them to play, as most of them had quit the game. I applied to a few clubs through Instagram and ended up in Royal Riders Company. Finding a new community was so much more fun than I could have imagined. Although it did feel a lot different than back in 2018 or 2020. Now, after a year of spending time in a new club with new wonderful people, I started to wonder, what was the reason for my club becoming inactive back in 2020? Why does SSO feel so different nowadays compared to the good old days? Welcome to my grand investigation! Why do we miss the old SSO? What an intro, am I right? I'm suddenly a professional SSO YouTuber. I'm even writing a script for this like a pro, and my script has almost 4,000 words, so be ready. I suddenly became super interested in the legacy of SSO. A lot of other people have discussed the current state of SSO and its community. Many miss the so-called old Star Stable online. My TikTok For You page is constantly filled with videos of people being nostalgic and saying they miss it. A lot of these people often dislike new features and just wish to return to the olden days. In this video, I want to discuss things from my personal point of view. What are the things that are different in SSO now compared to 2018 or 2017? I want to talk about my own experiences and thoughts. I will divide this video into 6 parts. Game environment, music, community, updates, engagement, and cost. As I mentioned, other people have discussed this before. I must give huge credit to the YouTube channel Rattle. They have an incredibly well put together series about the current state of the SSO community and the challenges it has faced. I certainly recommend giving it a go. Some of the things I bring up in this video have already been discussed by Rattle and other YouTubers as well. Let's start this video with talking about the game environment and the changes it has faced. The most remarkable changes that I can think of have been the Silverglade update in 2018 and the complete rework of Steve's and the Village in 2021, Greendale update in 2019, Game Character update June 2023, User Interface update 2023, and most recently the Hollow Woods update in 2023. I personally have nothing against the updates of the forests. Greendale has honestly never looked better. Hollow Woods is absolutely beautiful after the new update, although the area does look entirely different nowadays. It is incredibly magical to explore. Although I have no interest towards the quests that came along with it. The Steve's Farm and Silverglade Village is still an update I haven't gotten used to. I mean, there's no arguing that the village does look really good and a lot livelier than before. But something about it throws me off each time I visit. I feel like they maybe made it a bit too much different from the original Steve's Farm. The game character update was an absolute mess, but also a necessary update for the game. I still do think that a lot could be improved with the characters. The animations are still a bit too stiff for my liking. The body is also a bit unnatural, and there still could be a much larger selection of different body types. If you want to learn more about the character update, I certainly recommend Rattle's video on the subject. I think environmental updates are absolutely necessary for SSO. If SSO never updated their game environment, they probably wouldn't be attracting any new players at all. I mean, the old graphics, although nostalgic, were kind of ugly and dull. It's hard to get used to these changes, but the way I see it, SSO wouldn't survive as a game without them. The same applies to the user interface update. although I do think that they could have maybe used a bit more color to make the new interface a bit livelier and more resemblant to the old UI. I also think it's a bit weird they didn't update everything all at once, but in different updates with a lot of time in between. The game was in a strange in-between stage for many months, up until just a few weeks ago, when they finally updated the look of the settings. Although, one thing I must say bothers me a lot is the fact that they have changed the music entirely at different places. Music holds a lot of memories and nostalgia. I think that most of us can relate when I say that listening to songs we used to listen to many years ago brings us an insane feeling of nostalgia. It's almost scary how the feelings we felt back then attach to the music. The same applies to SSO. Game soundtracks are a very important part of the game itself. It brings a lot of feeling and emotions to the physical environment, although some players might pay less attention to it than others. I wanted to conduct a slight research when it came to SSO's music. I tacked up my Gen 2 Frisian, at least I tried to, and got to work. I investigated the usage of the songs that I remember being one of the most nostalgic or iconic songs. So tell me, when have you last heard this song play? Or this one? These are the songs that used to play in Steve's Farm or Silverglade, and of course the iconic Moorland soundtrack. While doing my research, I discovered that neither one of these songs are used anymore. I could not find a single place where Welcome to Jorvik, one of the most iconic songs, would be played at. The song at Steve's has been changed to this. I mean, it's an alright song, but where's the drama? The song Jorvigian Mornings also plays around Silverglade Village. That is an OG song, I do like it. The only place where you can hear the original Moorland soundtrack is when you're exiting Fort Pinta. The very small clip of the song can be heard then, but I couldn't find the full original Moorland soundtrack from anywhere in the game. In Moorland, they play the song Silverglade Highlands, which is an alright song too. But why change the iconic Moorland song? I dearly miss hearing it in-game. SSO has also changed another song, which actually shocked me a lot. Have you noticed that your stable feels a lot quieter than before? I was really surprised when I realized that there are no songs playing in your home stable. The song I remember playing is The Sound of Frozen Valleys. When has this song been removed? And why? The song created a very comfortable and safe atmosphere into the stable. Now it's just silence and occasional hee-haws and yippies! The last song that I noticed has been changed is the racing music. The racers no longer have this bomb-ass song. But some really calm deep do. Although I do feel that the original song has been used in some races, I'm not entirely sure. I think that it's completely unnecessary to change the amazing soundtracks that SSO used to have, especially when you change the amazing masterpieces into something kind of boring and uninteresting. If you already changed the environment, why change the music? It makes it feel too different from the original area, though some might argue that the new songs fit the new look of the areas better. I'm very happy to say that some of these bangers are still in the game. I wanted to give some appreciation to my personal favorite SSO soundtracks. Thanks to these songs, I can still feel a glimpse of my oh so happy childhood. Oh boy, the community. If anything, the SSO community has been quite displeased with SSO over the last few months or even years. The most recent example is the whole Star Coins fiasco from last December. If you don't know, SSO has given 300 Star Coins in their Christmas calendar for as long as they've had it. But last Christmas, that did not happen. Instead, they gave us kind of an ugly Yeti pet? This caused an outrage in the community, and many went as far as to start boycotting SSO. Rattle has a video regarding this as well. Oh my god. Do you think I've watched too much Rattle recently? Love you, you're amazing. The way I see it, the community has gotten a lot more negative over the last couple of years. For very valid reasons, of course. Clubs being one of the most important parts of the SSO community, I had the honor to ask our dear club owner Matilda Sweetdawn some questions regarding the community and clubs, especially on our server Spring Star.
Yes, indeed. Well, when we started, there was nothing else than the game and our Instagram group chat. And to be honest, that was quite messy. It was extremely hard making sure to add everyone and what people said and figure it out. And the club window in the game also made it pretty hard to actually run it, but we managed. But with Discord coming in, I would say it changed how people saw clubs and how you find new members and how you talk about the game and get like pro tips and things.
So would you say that people are less active nowadays or they're more active nowadays in the club?
I would say they're more active. I've done quite a work to remind people that to have a active club you have to have active members. So it's very natural for me to explain it that way. It doesn't mean that everyone has to be here every time I say, but you want to be part of a group, you have to do something for it. It's never just joining a club and then you're just not there and then you won't feel part of the club. So you need to do something for it. And I can feel that in the new members as well. They want to be here. Yeah. well, it was a campaign made by my leader Johanna Northmoon and myself. We saw how different regions got their own servers, for example, Finland.
Yes.
And many of our friends and fellow clubs moved away from SpringStar. And we got worried because, to be honest, most of all the people I know in SSO enjoys being on a multi-speaking server, an English-speaking server, but with many different cultures and amazing people on it. So we were scared for that, and that's why the campaign started. If it changed anything, I don't know if the specific campaign did anything, but I know Star Stable noticed it, and we have got some better numbers in people on SpringStar and the talk about SpringStar and what a English server is. That's not from UK or US, of course. Yes, indeed. I think clubs are very understated by Star Stable. They do mention us more. They know we're here. They did update the club window, so it's not because they don't see us or know we are here. But I feel that maybe a notice board in game where the clubs were listed, you could write a short text about what it is you do. So you don't have to go to Discord or Instagram or any other social media to find a club, but you can actually find what your server already offers. Because often it's hard to if someone finds us on Instagram and they write to me, oh, I want to join, and I'm like, yes, I would love you to join, but you are on a server that cannot come here, and that's a bit sad, I feel, because there's many great people and there's always I believe on every server there's a club worth being in.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate all the hard work you do for our club. As we slightly discussed, our server SpringStar, West Europe 1, has a great issue. You see, SpringStar, along with Pineapple Mountain, is a server between different regions. I think one of the only countries that has a direct access to SpringStar is South Africa and possibly the Netherlands. SpringStar is a server with people from many different countries. People who are not South African or Dutch have created accounts on SpringStar before specific servers for other countries were created, so before the year 2018. These people, including me, are currently stuck on this server with nowhere to go. For example, I am Finnish. There is a total of 3 different Finnish servers existing. The first Finnish servers were created back in 2019. Back then, it was possible to change from SpringStar to these servers. I'm not sure for how long that was possible, but it no longer is. There is nowhere where I could move my server to, although I live in Finland. Nowadays, new Finnish players get automatically put into the Finnish servers with no option to go to SpringStar, for example. If you are not from South Africa or the Netherlands, it is impossible to get into SpringStar without a VPN. It is a little stupid in my opinion, since servers with people from different countries and cultures is a very cool thing, and you won't always want to go into the server of your own country. Luckily, SpringStar is still active to some extent. Another thing I wanted to take a look at is the SSO community on social media. I specifically took a look at YouTube. I checked on 20 YouTube channels that I used to follow around 2018. Out of those 20 channels, only 9 had been active in the last year. Out of those 9, only 4 had been active in the last 2 months. It was kinda sad to see how most of them had deactivated as long as 3 or 4 years ago. SSO themselves have gotten a lot less active on their YouTube channel. They seem to be focusing more on other social media sites, such as TikTok and Instagram. Can I also just say that I dearly miss the SSO news videos that Ylva and Matilda used to post. They were such a joy to my weeks. It's also a piece of this community that I feel like we've truly lost. The new people on TikTok are great, but I don't get the same sense of community and connection from them as I used to with Ylva and Matilda, although I do entirely understand why they quit making Star Stable news in the first place. Overall, I would say that the community does not feel as complete as it used to. A lot of people have quit the game for various reasons. It's hard to find fun and accepting communities, especially on a server like SpringStar that has been slowly dying. It's sad because my club is basically the only reason why I play this game anymore. There would simply be nothing to do without friends or a community. This is the case for many others as well. I can't be the only one who thinks that SSO's weekly updates have gotten quite boring over the last couple of years. Back in 2018, I was always super excitedly looking forward to Wednesdays and all the fun the game would bring. Nowadays, I don't even remember the last time I was curious enough to check the SSO news site. Another thing that has been discussed by other people is the amount of horses that SSO is releasing. This, although, has been going on since around 2017. According to my research, in 2017, SSO put out a total of 34 horses. This would cost you 28,511 star coins. In 2018, SSO put out a total of 45 new horses. This would cost you 32,336 star coins. In 2023, on the other hand, SSO put out 52 new horses. This would cost you 47,375 star coins. According to this, SSO has greatly increased the amount of horses they put out yearly. Although in 2021, SSO put out a total of 57 horses, so compared to last year, they have changed it so slightly, but not really enough for it to be a big change. If you were to buy all these horses, you would have to use a lot of money. Sometimes these horses are even put out in kind of broken states, and they take a while to fix it. It also is no longer exciting to wait for new horse releases because they get released so often. I think SSO should also change the way they update their game. An update maybe once every 2 weeks or even once a month would be very good for the game, especially if they could put out updates in a much more complete state rather than in a broken and buggy one. It could also add more excitement to updates, and they could include a lot of more things in one update at once. But why did it not feel like this back in 2018? As I said, this has been going on since around 2017, if not earlier. Although SSO did put out a lot of horses back in 2018, I feel like the other updates compensated for that. The other updates were super fun and exciting, so it didn't feel like the only thing SSO was focusing on were the horses. But it is like that now. The quality of other updates seems to have gone down quite a lot, and they focus a lot more on the new horses. I do have to give it to them that the new horses are really, really beautiful, once they are not broken, that is. It just sucks to see them care more about the money aspect rather than engagement and enjoyment. In the end, there is not much to do with one horse after all. I'm also a bit upset about them entirely removing some events, such as the Midsummer Festival. To be honest, I couldn't even remember what SSO had for summer 2023. Was there even anything? I think it was the Starshine Ranch thing. I think the removal of that festival was kind of unnecessary. They could have added new things or changed it somehow, but they didn't need to completely remove it. I could have also mentioned something about the story quests, but to be fair with you, I have not been very engaged in those recently, so I don't really know. But what I've heard is that they have changed up the quests a lot, and the original story isn't really in it anymore. So a lot of people have really given up hope and interest with the story quests, but I will not be discussing those more in this video. Does this sound familiar to you? You log on SSO, look at all the quests you have. You spin around for a solid 5 minutes, and you log off. This is currently the routine I go through most times I feel like playing SSO. There's almost nothing fun to do, at least for me. Some of the new updates, like Hollow Woods, seem cool, but I am not a fan of the grinding events. I truly can't even get started with the operation that is the event thingy. I don't even really know what it is, to be completely honest with you. SSO is fun, usually around special events such as Christmas, Midsummer, Halloween, St. Patrick's, and the Equestrian Festival. But when there are no such events, it tends to get boring very fast. SSO is an absolutely beautiful game, and I truly wish I could enjoy it a lot more on a daily basis. It's also one of the reasons why a lot of content creators might have stopped making SSO related videos. There is simply nothing to make videos about. I have also struggled with this issue recently. I would really love to make more SSO videos, but what is there to make a video about? One thing that also messes with engagement is the bugs. There are so many small bugs that have not been fixed. When new bugs appear, it can take SSO multiple weeks to fix them. This hinders the game experience a lot. Take into account that when I tagged up my horse to experiment the songs, I ran into 2 bugs in the duration of probably 5 minutes. The amount of small bugs in SSO is insane, and the time they take to fix them is way too long. The last thing I want to bring up is costs. SSO is scarily expensive for a game that is constantly broken. Their prices have also gone up, and I must say that I was incredibly shocked to see that the lifetime Star Rider nowadays costs over 70 euros. That is crazy. I bought my Star Rider in 2017 with 34 euros. Although, I must say it's a little stupid, because, you see, I bought a version with no weekly allowance at all, so I do not get any star coins on Saturdays. This was a cheaper option, and at the time I obviously did not understand the true, insane value of star coins in the game. So I of course bought the cheaper one. Oh boy, have I slightly regretted that since then. Because I have no weekly allowance, I have spent a total of 565.65 euros on SSO since 2017. That is nuts. It's also a little sus to me that the lifetime no weekly allowance Star Rider has not existed for many years now. Why was I able to buy it back then? It's a bit weird. I feel a little scammed, to be honest with you. SSO is not worth 70 euros, or 500 euros at that. We have finally come to the conclusion. To answer the original question, why do we miss the old Star Stable? We miss the game environment that has changed a lot over the years. Although change is necessary, we miss the feeling we used to get when playing in the old Jorvik. We miss the amazing music that reminded us of the old times. It was something to get nostalgic about. We miss the amazing community we used to have. Maybe we also miss the friends that quit playing a long time ago and the people we used to spend our daily lives with. Maybe we also miss the people that we used to be and the life we used to live. We miss the interesting updates. We miss having fun and exciting things to do in the game. We miss SSO focusing on experience rather than profit. So, what can we really do about this? Well, to be honest, not that much. SSO is unlikely going to change much as a company. The so-called old SSO is never going to come back. It is still possible to enjoy the game. If you find a club that fits you with amazing people and fun events, then SSO can actually be a really enjoyable game. Clubs being the biggest reason why most people play this game, one would wish for SSO to pay more attention to them. Maybe one day that is going to happen. Oh my gosh. You have made it to the end of this video. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to Matt for participating in this video. It's my first time making like a big video like this. I guess you could consider this like a video essay even. So I'm sorry if it was a little messy. As I said, it's kind of it's something new for me. I also really want to apologize for my voice because I've been sick for the entire weekend. I've been just trying to wait for a day when my voice wouldn't sound like this, but that day seems to not be coming really soon, so I just had to record those voiceovers with a slightly clogged nose, so I'm sorry if I sounded like that, which I kind of did, but I've been trying to edit it to sound semi-good. I'm also recording these on my phone because I don't really have any other microphones that I could use that would sound good, so this had to be it. So I'm really sorry for kind of poor voiceover qualities right now, but it is what it is. I think the video is fine. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I wanted to discuss some of my own views on the situation. I feel like I've re-recorded this like 5 times now because I keep thinking of new things I could say, but I guess my main point is that you can choose how to play SSO. Like, don't let anybody else tell you how to play SSO. Play how you want. You can see it how you want. You can play how you want. It is a game. I mean, for many of us, SSO is more than just a game, even if I say that it's a game, because we've found great communities and dear friends from SSO. Some of us can maybe even find a job from SSO, and SSO might have been there for us in really tough times. So for many of us it is more than just a game, but if we look at it on a surface level, it is just a game, and you don't have to let anybody tell you how to play it and how you should feel about it. You decide that for yourself. But I wanted to say that I think we should not judge each other based on how we see the game, so that people who really miss the old SSO should not judge the ones that like the new features of SSO, and vice versa. The people who like the new SSO shouldn't judge people who miss the old SSO. And you can be somewhere in between. You can like the new SSO and still miss the old SSO. Or you don't have to miss the old SSO at all. You can just be all for the new SSO, and all of that is completely fine. Just play the game however you want. But this video was just kind of pondering and wandering around these subjects that I've been seeing people discuss, and you know, I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I kind of really enjoyed making this video. It was a big process. I've been editing it for multiple days now, and I still haven't edited it to the end. I still have a bit to edit, and it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long video, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in future videos as well. I don't know what those are going to be about, but yeah. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have some discussions. Let's discuss about these things and what you think and what your own views are. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you again. Bye bye!